We do that every meeting is our budget together.
Wait until you got about full.
I think
No.
Not that.
Okay, so we're pretending that we have the spur drive, and we would put it on the spur drive, and then put this up and lock it in. And then if it was on the spur drive, I would turn it on. But I don't turn it on, because I don't want to get hit. So anyway, it's spinning around, and it spins around and around and around. And you have,
We got it, we just needed that knockout bar.
and it spins around until you get, you get your antenna made, and you get the back part here. So it's, can you see that? I mean, can you imagine that? So now we have this part done. So it's easy. And then, because it's turned around like this, you know, and you make your antenna. Then you take it out and put it this way, and put it in your chuck.
Did you find it?
We were pretending.
Now we don't need to pretend.
Yeah. And try and get a kind of, you know,
Flip around too. Needs to be locked. No, it's good.
It only has two.
so turn it on slowly. Maybe a little bit faster.
Manny, you have your catcher's mitt?
Okay, so first of all, we're gonna go for our antenna. Wait a minute. I'm just gonna start. And this is wet wood. And with wet wood, always keep turning this so that goes in and in, because it does get, it does get loose. And I don't know about you guys, but the hard thing for me when I first started turning was looking over here and not down at my tool. That was such a hard thing for me. And then I use a parting tool mainly to make my tenon because it's easy for me. Okay, well, you kind of get the idea of what I was saying before, that you have your piece and it turns out like this. And rather than waste all your time trying to. And it digs in, but it doesn't matter because you're gonna, all this stuff is gonna be turned away. So it doesn't matter if it digs in and you have a big hole, it doesn't matter. The next step is hollowing. So after you got it in your chuck, so it's in your chuck, you're going to hollow out the middle part so that you got it hollowed out. Then you take your
What are you doing?
Then you take it's in your chuck now, and you take your drill and you drill your hole in there. And some people measure, the hole for the tenon to fit, or the little piece to fit into, so it joins. I have never had good luck with that. I'm just not a good measurer. So when I make my tenon, when I make my, where is it? Oh. When I make my finial for the bottom, I make it backwards, and I can fit it in like that. Because I start with my tenon here, and as I'm turning it, I keep making sure it fits. And with this piece, you need. I'm used to turning putting a little divot next to it so that it conforms. But on this, you have to turn it down the opposite way than you normally would. Anyway, you have your tenon, and then, and I'll show you that in a minute. So I'm ready to make the top tenon. I don't know most of you know this, but for beginners, with the parting tool, you don't just put it in straight. You kind of put it on the top and lift it up. Let's see if that fits. I can't believe I got that on the first try. I never do that. So then on this part, I'm going to make it just a little bit rounded so that it'll fit up into the round spot in there. Whatever design you want. Finials are I watched Julie Lopez do a demo, and afterwards I went up to him and I said, Rudy, every time I make a finial, and I think, oh, it's beautiful, and I love it, and I part it off, and he said, it's too fat, right? I said, yeah, how'd you know? He said, that's supposed to look at that the most. He told me, when you make a finial, and like I said, mine all looks fat. Well, the beautiful one I'm looking at, but he told me, if you turn 90 degrees and look at it, you can get a better view. It works for me. I don't know if it'll work for you, but it works beautifully for me. Instead of watching me make a finial, because y'all know how to make a finial. You just make the bottom one, you fit it in, you part this off, and you make the top one, and in the end, you have a beautiful ornament with a natural edge on it. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, okay. What I'm going to do next is talk about just ornaments in general. I brought a book to pass around. The thing I found interesting in the book is it actually has dimensions. I don't think anybody in this room actually measures anything. So I found it interesting. It's kind of like, I never thought about making something, 16 millimeters wide. They all have to just kind of fit. But you can thumb through this book and take a look at things. It turns out that to the back of the book, on page 119, is ornamented by the guy who taught me how to do this, which is Alan Leland. He's out of North Carolina. He was teaching at John Campbell, and that's where I learned to do these. Now, I've done most of these. This book they're pretty easy. I'll pass that around. We'll pass around some ornaments. They And you can make these, and these take about a half hour start to finish. Right, they're pretty quick things to do. I'm gonna do one tonight, and they have a finial, top, bottom, and then a hollowed globe. And the reason you want to hollow the globe is you want these things to be light, because they hang on a Christmas tree. You don't want the Christmas tree to look herniated, right? It just has to kind of float in the air. The only other thing while I have this in my hand I wanted to mention is that most of the ones I have here tonight are lacquered. And it used to drive me crazy on how to actually lacquer them without getting the drip, but because after you make these, you glue them together and putting them back in the lathe to turn them is difficult. So what I finally came up with is I tie a piece of monofilament to them and I spin them and I lacquer them when they spin. And it tends to, and if you get it spinning really good, it forgives everything. I mean, the extra spots fly off, you get lacquer all over your place. But it actually gives you a very, very nice even coat. And then you just let them hang dry for a few minutes, put another coat on it.
And you wear a t-shirt that you don't care if it gets lacquer on.
Exactly. If you're turning in your good clothes, you will soon break yourself of that habit. That piece, in the finial, you see that was cast around last time I did this, and it's been glued back together. Oh, we had a contest year before this.
I have a couple of your ornaments hanging over my dining room table.
And this, Will got a piece of wood and we got sent home to make an ornament. This is the piece, the piece of spolted that was made for that. And these were all the same. They're all the exact same thing, and they were all made the exact same way, with two finials. And they'll pass that around too. They'll stop. I got a box of them here. Now, what I do is I basically start. And the reason I like to do finials is that it's the one thing you can do you don't have to make a tenon for, right? You can stick this in a chuck and you get away with it, right? So you don't have to make a tenon. But what I do is, you basically take a piece, you put a tenon on it, you rough it out, and then I keep it on the lathe, and I'll do this in a moment, and I'll go ahead and get the basic form I want for the ornament, no matter what it is, and then I'll drill a hole almost all the way through. I'll drill a hole to about a quarter of an inch of the end of where I want the ornament to terminate. And then I'll take a drill, and I use 11/16. The reason I use 11/16 is my finger fits into an 11/16 hole, and I can drill the hole and I can actually easily feel the thickness of the ornament. That makes it really, really easy. I don't have to measure with, I don't have to play with any gauges or anything. And so I'll make the hole and do that. The other thing is, there are days when I just want to make finials, so I'll make a bunch of finials, and I know they're going to have to fit in 11/16 hole. So I can go ahead and make a bunch of finials, and so I got, I'll just, these are actually different ones I made, but I make them all with the same hole now, and then after I make, a dozen finials, I'll go ahead and make a couple of bowls and things like that. So that's what I'm going to do real quickly tonight. And if the piece gets a little too big, then you just turn it into a birdhouse, right? It's, sometimes, when I was turning over the weekend, people would put a piece in, they said, "What are you going to make?" I said, I don't know yet. First I have to see if it explodes on me, and then I have to actually figure out what it's going to look like. But you can go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is just basically go through the steps real quickly. And the reason I have this is if this doesn't work, we will immediately switch to that. I am at a disadvantage, being probably the shortest person in the club. So these lathes are at my...
Do you want me to go get a ramp?
At my...
I'll go get it for you.
No, I just want to be my excuse to have first, Jen.
Okay.
But you can remove the wire for your mic around your shoulder. Sorry.
Does it work, huh?
There you go.
Hey, Francis, if you were gonna do this for competition, you were talking about weight. What is the weight on these in order to be able to enter a competition?
You know, they have to be light, as Jack says. You know, there's no weight limit. When you walk up to it, you know, if this was going to be an ornament, you go, this is just too heavy to be an ornament. It really is. And when you feel those ones I sent around, they're all, you look at them and they're lighter than they look. And that's what you want. You want it to kind of, someone to pick it up and you know, misjudge the weight of it. And you know you've gone too thin when the piece is no longer on the lathe. And I just had the, I'm now missing, oh, here it is. Okay. And make sure it's kind of round before we start. Okay. And if people make ornaments, some people like to make the ornaments themselves round. And so if you look at an ornament and excuse me, you can either make the globe itself round, or you can make, and these globes are round and then this kind of sticks out the bottom, or you can make it so that the globe, that the ornament itself is squished and the globe completes the circle. And Alan Leland likes to do let the finial edges actually complete the circle, so he makes his globes a little more squished when he does his. And that's just something you could play with. And so what I want to do is I'm going to make basically a roundish bowl. So what I need to do is just come up with the dimension. Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna get crazy trying to make this perfectly round for the demo. That's I'm gonna leave it like that. So it's in the truck. I can take this away. What I'm gonna do now is take this end away, and I'm gonna basically just cut the end of this off. And then you can use it. Two goals tonight. One is to actually get this completed in one piece, and the other one is not to make a safety error. Because we all know Paul is watching. Paul is always watching. Okay, now we're going to drill a hole in the middle. I'm going to take my handy dandy 11/16. Put it in the truck. And I'm going to want to just stop short of the end. So I'm going to take a little piece of tape, take the guide. Okay. So, this thing want to go in about that much. Precision work. Okay, let me turn it back on. And I'm just going to drill a hole. That's it. I'm going to leave that there for now. Actually, I'm going to take it out because I'm going to drill in there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically come back and I'm going to hollow this. I haven't finished the end of it yet. I haven't turned it around or anything. I don't quite need to do that yet. Okay. I've never used this tool, Jack. What is this thing tonight? And one thing I forgot in my car is really necessary at this point, which is a straw. Because if you put a straw there and you blow into it, all this stuff comes out. Right now I have no way of actually clearing it out. This end looks pretty much okay. I need to unhollow to about back here now, and I'm going to get the rest of it.
What is the tool you're using to hollow?
It's just a small scraper.
Okay.
Just a small. I can't see the thing. It's just a small flat scraper. And it is new. It's a new truck.
Frank, are you at center, above center, below center?
I am, the tool itself is above center.
Above center.
Above center. Yeah.
And
doesn't take long to hollow. These are small objects. Yeah. It's not the thinnest in the world, but it's going to be fine. How much time do I have?
How much time does he have?
We're determining that right now, Frank.
Okay.
Frank, Rita said if you take her time, she's okay with it.
I'm focused down here, so if Rita gets a hook out, let me know. And I know it's time to, see if I can stop. Okay, now I'm going to take that drill bit. I'm just going to make a measurement because I want to take this end down to about the, a little bit less than the bit size. And my tape line. So I'm going to take it down to about there. Close. I'm just going to just touch more. Then we'll be done with this part. Okay, yes. I'd clean that up a little bit more normally, and then stop there. This is the inside paper. Put this back in. Tape off. That didn't work well. It's done. I expect to see one inside it, but that basically makes the bowl. Okay, so off for a second. So I'm just going to normally, I would change since I made a little statement a moment ago about not needing to put attendance on. One of the reasons I avoid attendance is that after a while, if you have to make attendance, I realize I'm only going to go through the season. So just avoid it. Okay, I'm just going to work this out real quick. Just take me a moment. Okay, so once you get the fender kind of roughed out, it just depends on what you want to do. You want to put a couple of round things on the end of it, or put some flat things on the end of it. It really doesn't matter what you do. You usually try to use the contrasting wood so it kind of sticks out. So I'll just go down here. You can make as many of these as you want to ones out. a little further. And then all I need to do is take a parting tool. It should be here somewhere. Maybe you have a parting tool at the bottom? Yes, okay. E? Oh, here's one. That'd be great. Rita has a prize party tool, you really don't want to miss this. I usually come in an angle and try to get an angle and try to follow up that part because it makes it easier if it can pop itself to the bottom. I find it easier if it pops itself to the bottom of the bowl that I made. The last thing I need to do is get my calipers and then get my drill. You can measure it in. I want this to be right about that thickness. Finish off the end of it. Cut that off. Lost my piece of sandpaper. don't know, it'll take a little more time. Do all that, make it look nice. And can I have the ball back?
Yeah, it's right behind me.
Okay. Oh, here. And I should be able to cut this off, and it should fit. Same as last ones. Normally I have a thinner, let me just do it real quick. I have a, Rita, I'm just going to use this tool for a moment.
Sure, that's the one Jack made.
It's one Jack made her.
Uh-huh.
Pretty sure. If this tool breaks in my hand, I will disappear. And so I have to jump in. I should be able to cut this off, and it should fit. Doesn't quite. All right, so I needed to actually take this down just a touch. But that would go ahead and fit there, and then I'd make one for the top that looked something like this with a little knob on it. I put that on the top end, and again, if you look at the book, some people like to keep them so that you see the line between them. Some people like to have them kind of flat onto it. But that's it. I put them together, I glue them together, and then I basically put a little hook in there, eye hook, then put my piece of monofilament on it, spin it backward a few times, and I'm done with it. Like I said, the whole thing doesn't take much longer than I did here. Actually, when you're in the shop with your own tools, it goes a little faster. But thank you. Any questions?
They don't ask questions. You either did really well or you totally lost them.
I've been lecturing for 45 years, and I probably lost it.
Obviously, Rita was going to do a third one, but we've run out of time. So, does anyone have questions for Rita or Frank? Did everything get passed around? Yes, sir.
So, when you were doing the ball section, you chose not to drill all the way through and then drill through at the end to part it off, right? Why not drill all the way through the length of it and then just use a parting tool to part off? What's better about waiting to drill that final?
You get a cleaner hole.
Okay.
You get a cleaner hole on the inside. If you do it the other way, then you have to go back and clean the hole. Now you have a bowl in your hand,
Right.
and you can't turn it very easily. So making it small, then when the drill bit comes through, you're going through on the outside of the shaft. It just makes a clean hole.
Thank you, because I had that same question.
And you don't have to chase the ball down the road.
I'm sorry.
Was that because the tear out then happens on the inside rather than the outside of the pieces? So it's an issue of tear out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other way, you have to catch it, right?
Right.
This way you don't have to catch it.
I also know when Jack does his reverse hollow forms, when you get a piece that's really long, going back and not drilling all the way through the piece, because sometimes you will get a little bit of error where a drill bit might start to run off center, right? So
They always run off center.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how much they run off center.
Mark it with chalk, cut it with an axe.
Yeah. Measure it, mark it with chalk, cut it with an
Measure it with
axe.
micrometer, mark it with chalk,
Yeah.
cut it with an axe.
Any other questions? Guests, thank you for joining us. If you got on our email list, we'll keep you posted, upcoming meetings, etc. If you enjoyed it.
Postcard.
Yes, there are some poster cards up here if you didn't get one. Grab one, they've got dates on. And we'll get it cleaned up. Thank you, everyone.